What's going on, everybody? Welcome to WAEofFishing. This is a very short video. This video is kind of a request video, so I have to put your YouTube handle down at the bottom of the video, but shout out to, got some subscribers that are actually in Europe, and so I was asked to show where I put a bit of kit. I think that's a slick way to say it. I guess, you know, that's like where I put my gear and stuff. The truck is a work in progress. For those of you who don't come to Rods and Rigs, which is this weekend, by the way, you haven't seen it, so I'm gonna go through a little bit. So I've got the truck still loaded up from when I went camping. I did a video on this rack that you see right here. I didn't cover every single thing that I have done to the rack, so we'll kind of point out a little bit of that now. You can see my paddle over here. These are on fist grips. If you want these, I'll link them below. I designed it to hold one full paddle here, one full paddle here, but in the slipstream of the truck, they move a little bit. So what I do is I'm moving those up here to tuck right underneath the kayaks, but I can carry two paddles outboard on this rack, and you know the goal is to keep this as open as possible to allow me to carry gear or kit, you know, in the back of the truck. So I put the paddles up here. I've got the oh look, my mega bass is already peeled, already hit it on something. I've got the Shoaly up above the camera mounted on these. These are getting replaced too. And then I don't even know if this is in frame, but I've got the lights on the truck. So I did a 36 hours of overlanding. You know, camped in the truck, brought all my gear, stayed with the truck, had all my fishing equipment. I just wanted to try it out to see how that all worked. One of the things I want to show predominantly in this video is this tote right here. This is just a truck box I keep in the truck. Right now it's just got firewood in it. Keeps it out of the elements. It's super hard plastic. It's harder than a kayak. That thing is rugged. I don't even know where I got it, but it is a monster. But this is a plain old Sportsman's box. It's got two wheels on the other end. 4 latches. You can pick it up, you know, and just roll it if it gets super heavy. But one of the problems I run into is WAEofFishing. We fish for lots of things. We could go inshore saltwater, we could go freshwater, we can go up in the mountains. I just want to be outside, right? And so a lot of times I'll show up and I'm notorious for forgetting my net. So those of you who've been on the channel a while, you know, people comment, where's your net? Why don't you have the net? I never have a net. But that's just one symptom of a larger problem. So I need a net. Tell me what kind of net you would recommend. So what I came up with was to use this tote. So no matter what I'm going fishing for, when we load the kayaks, I can carry 3 kayaks on this rack. Once we load the kayaks, all I have to do is grab this box. So if my raging ADHD self can remember to put everything in here, this system will work flawlessly. I haven't come up with the storage solution for the stakeout pole yet. It's all a work in progress. Life is a work in progress, right? So when I load the boats up, all I have to do is grab this box, okay? In this box, I've got a floating camera rig. I've only got one in here now, but this box is actually big enough to hold my bump board. So as long as I got the box, I got both bump boards. This is a package of gear from Discount Tackle. It's just in there because I needed somewhere to put it. I've got my emergency survival kit. It's got a saw, knife, fire starters, all that in it. Water bottle. I will always have my anchor. This is my 3-pound grapple anchor. I just keep it in this box. If I don't need it, it stays in the box in the truck, right? If I do need it, as long as I got the box, I got my anchor. Have to worry about it. That's the float for the anchor line, so I can ditch it. All right, in here, I keep the scupper plugs. So these are scupper plugs. I've got scupper plugs for multiple kayaks. I think these are the ones for the Hoodoo. I've got the scupper plugs for the Shoaly in here. Extra gear track clips for the Field Freeze, because Field Freeze have an odd shaped track. They need a little bit different plate in there. I've got my tree anchor. You know, this is just a plastic clip I can use to grab on the branches. A length of rope I can attach to the kayak. Y'all have seen me use that before. This is the rope and the float for the minnow trap. A lot of times we go inshore, we trap bait. This is the float, so we can throw it out and retrieve it because the float stays up on the surface. We don't lose our minnow trap. I've got my panfish mount for my GoPros in here. The base is not in here right now. It's in the house. It's in my camera box, but got my panfish mount. If I don't need to film that day, or I don't want that extra camera, I can leave it in here. These are like paddle clips. I never installed them, but I keep them because maybe one day I'll find that I want to use them. Right now, I haven't used these things in like 4 years. They're Yak Attack. They're made to hold a paddle. Maybe I'll use that to hold the stakeout pole. What else is in here? These are inner tubes. I'm actually going to use these to make drag lines. So I threw them in there so I wouldn't lose them. These are extra gear tethers that I made. These are elastic gear tethers. I can, you know, paddle keepers, whatever you want to use them for. I've got 3 of them. You never know when you might need that. Like I said, these are the shoalies for the crescent. These are for my, the scuppers for the crescent shoalie. What in the world? I got a few extra zip ties I just threw in here. Again, it's still a work in progress. This is an anchor cleat. I don't think I'm going to use this one. I have a different anchor cleat that I'm going to use to fix the anchor to the shoalie. In here we have Caleb's cast net. This was always in the garage, ended up kicking it around and never really had a good place. And this was the first thing I put in this bucket. I was like, man, I can put it in here. Then I said, hold on. I can put all the loose kayak gear in there, right? So this is what gave me the idea to start using this bucket in this manner. What else is in here? More scuppers, scupper plugs. This is a drag line self-recovery rope for a kayak. You can, if you flip the boat, you can clip this to the handle. It's got a hole big enough to put your foot in. You can use it to flip the boat using your body weight. But Caleb keeps this on the feel free to pull it. There's another drag line for the feel free for the moken. We use this when we're in the river, when we're smallmouth fishing shallow. Sometimes we drag the boats quite a ways. You have to portage through the woods. It's a lot easier to pull it with a rope than to be hunched over with your back bent. That does hurt your back after a while. Some more Yak Attack rail clips. Some camping gear. I've got another a 2-inch ball for the receiver on the truck. I've got some roto grips for gear or paddle, and I've got a replacement handle because I've got to fix the feel free. But in here, everything's not in here that's going to be in here. There's going to be some more rope in here. Like I said, I got to put the other bump board in, but keep this in the garage. We want to go kayaking. We get the boats up here. All we have to do is grab this box, throw it in the truck. We know that everything we need is in there. Where's the pull rope? In the box. Where's the cast net? In the box. You got scuppers there? In the box. Hey, I forgot my bump board. No, it's in the box, right? So now I just have to grab one thing. I don't have to grab everything. So what I'm trying to do is eventually have it so that I don't need anything that's in here for the John boat. The John boat will have its own gear, and then I'll have this box of kit for the kayaks when we go. So anchor lines, all that. So saltwater, freshwater, catching bait, not catching bait, cast net, blah, 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 blah. Everything's in here. All the loose scupper plugs I've got in the garage, all going to be in here. Repair parts, all that sort of stuff. So just a really quick video. I'll unclip that camera real quick. I'll show you the lights on here. So when we were up on the mountain, I was able, when I had to get out and fix the back of the truck and all, and I was up on the mountain, it was dead quiet, and it was snowing and sleeting, and there's animals, and I didn't know if I was going to run up on some people. So it was really cool. I was able to illuminate around the truck. So it gave me just a little bit more security where I wasn't in the darkness. I wasn't looking in the darkness. There was a bubble of light around the truck. Driving up there, I do need some more lights on the truck, but that's a different video. So I'm gonna unclip this camera real quick. I'm gonna show you the lights on here. I'm gonna show you how these paddles are mounted here. And then I'm gonna unload all the camping stuff out of my truck before I have to go get Caleb. So. These are ditch lights. They're mounted to face off the rear, so I can light up the whole area behind the truck. I've got rock lights tucked up in the pockets. And by the way, if you want to buy one of these racks, I do sell these. They are a custom item and there is some assembly required. So if you want one of these, you're gonna need to talk to me. So reach out to me. I've got all the dimensions to fit a Toyota, so I can get these, you know, assembled for Toyota. But if you're interested, I've had lots of people ask me to buy them, and I didn't really want to go through with it, but I have yielded. So I do sell these if you want one. And we can do an optional powder coat if you want an optional powder coat. These are the fist grips. You can see how the paddles mount in here. That keeps them out of the truck, keeps them out of the way. They don't come off. I've put 1,000 miles on the paddles up here. Like I said, I'm moving these fist grips. They will be moved up here to carry that paddle along here above the doors and all. And I have 2. And then it still leaves this open for max tracks and that sort of thing. Shower system that I'm going to put on the truck and everything. So, yep, that's that. And I got to clean this out. And that, because I lived in the truck for a couple days. So thank you for watching Way of Fishing. Get out there and fish your way. If the weather turns warm again, I'm going to go fishing. But it's like freezing outside. Bye.